Hey, and welcome back to HOI4, the new order. And yes, I do hear you, I will play Hyperborea in the next video, but for Christmas, I thought I'd play something blessed for once. So what better way to celebrate Christmas than to play a party whose anthem is literally the melody of a Christmas song. And yes, today we are going to be playing as the Kingdom of England and Unifying Britain under Harold Wilson and the Labour Party. So, let's get started. And I can't actually build anything, nor train any units. Well, that's a shame. Either way, I'm going to first do tick-tock, tick-tock. The Copper and the Rebel. Timothy O'Flaherty considered himself about as normal as one could be under the circumstances. The police hadn't changed so much since the Germans invaded. In his eyes, it was what had come after that had been worse. The London Uprising, not to mention the constant terrorism, not by Fenians but by Englishmen against the German tyrants. Griselda had grown up under the bull. She watched the Germans kill her friends in the London Uprising and watched her brother beg on the streets because he couldn't earn a living with his leg blown off, which is why she joined Himmler. And in order to elect the Labour Party, we have to support Himmler's England, so I'm going to do the state beneath their feet. Griselda wanted revenge against those who had betrayed England, and if Himmler were the one suffering, who was she to turn them down? Right, and we get some decisions here. Firstly, we've got the state of a nation. I'm guessing we have to flip as many of these state to Himmler leaning. We've also got Himmler-OFN relations, and we can get more guns from OFN, yet at the same time we have to keep our relations high with them. And we have the King's Speech, and I'm guessing we have to decrease the safety of the speech, right? And we'll continue down the focus tree. Griselda had memorized every guard rotation. She was ready, and Griselda dearly hoped that would be enough. Right, it's happening. The King's Speech. And as we can see here, the current safety of the future Edward's speech is estimated to be around 0%. So yeah, it's not looking that good for the king. Assassination attempt on Edward VIII. Apparently God was fond of the king this day. And we get a new set of focus tree, and we're going to first do the days of the resistance. Right, and now we can actually invest in certain states, and I think I'm going to try to flip the government lean state. And now I'm going to pick those connections. The Battle of Portman Road. Everything would have been fine had Ipswich Town FC managed to win. But as Harris jumped across the field in victory after the goal, none of this mattered to the Burnley fans, and shortly after the roars died down, the chanting started. By the time order had been restored, the match was cancelled, 2 were dead, and dozens more seriously injured. Right, and now that we're done with this part of the focus tree, I'm going to go over Operation Bad Morning first. After we're done with this, we're going to go Operation Stock next. And next we're going to go for Operation Broken Telephone. Night to remember. Out of the bushes on the border came the Himmler soldiers, the ones sent to receive the weapons. A toast was done to Himmler before the agents disappeared into the woods, last much calmer than when they had arrived. Right here is PE4. This will be your primary tool for blowing up the fucking dogs in London up, understand? And wow, that gave us a lot of weapons, which is excellent. So now we can start doing these operations. Right, and now we've finished the focus tree, and we can go. Not enough time. It will soon be time for the uprising to begin. And the state of the nation is not looking particularly great, to be honest. But a lot of the areas in our country are disputed. So I guess we'll see how that turns out. Oh, and Hitler has died, and the German Civil War has just broken out. And the English Civil War begins. For Queen and Country. Okay, that's a nice encirclement. Darling, why have your uniform on? Haven't you heard on the radio? The war's on again. We're off to fight the fascists off our home soil. Give them and the crowd garrison a good kick in the pants. I wouldn't miss it for the road. We almost had the blighters in the last one, and this time we'll really finish the job. I'm begging you not to go. I can't watch you leave again, thinking you won't come back. I'm sorry, I don't have a choice. Bombs away, with fire and fury. They should be all over Plymouth by now. Plymouth is burning. The Germans will have to sleep with one eye open. Bang! What in the God's name do you think you're shooting at? It was Jerry, right over there, 50 yards or so. In the fucking Scottish Highlands. Are you stupid? Look, the helmet! Oh Christ alive, right, this never happened. Buried the body, deep. Anything out of the ordinary, chaps? You're a touch late. No sir, just lost her. Nothing to worry about.
And the loud blast, the blast that tears the sky, sends back to roots and aging old.
Oh, and we've taken London. Oh, and the Kingdom of England has capitulated. And we have defeated the Governorate of Cornwall as well. And we've established the English Transitional Government, a barbaric victory. I killed someone, and I enjoyed it, Olivia. It excited me. I guess in the moment I was scared, but well, he had a family and I killed him. I saw the light drain out of his eyes and for once, she didn't know what to say. Himmler is victorious. It is time to rebuild. And we get a new focus tree, and we'll do a forgotten word, England. Far beyond the front lines, in Himmler territory, the mood was a lot less subdued. Massive celebrations broke out all over free England. Everywhere ran dry of alcohol, consumed by the revelers. The last of our enemies is late now. And now I think I'm going to start going this path, the Young Democracy Law. But who would lead such an organization? I'm too tied up with the rights of the country, and you are too far left for many others. But if we got together and ruled England by a committee, better us than anyone else. Major Sterling protests the YDL. Guess he's not going to be a member then. And now we can start rebuilding our nation. An English person's duty. Vote SLP and win the peace. And here we can start campaigning for the Socialist Labour Party in different states of England. And we also get the High Command, and we have to increase the loyalty and efficiency of our High Command. And we can also start the Oxford trials now. The 6 judges let the trials commence. The head of the snake. The snake receives his due judgment. The execution of Alec Douglas Home. The head of the snake has been cut. The bootlicker. The accused Chesterton of being a proud, self-proclaimed English fascist. The frustrated fascist. I hope you enjoyed your goodbye gift, you fascist wanker. The trial of the field marshal. Forced labor should change its pomposity. Send them out of the country. The trial of Harold Macmillan. Removing him from politics is good enough. The trial of Reginald Moulding. He can be a scummy traitor in another profession. Hey, and the Socialist Labour Party wins the election. Harold Wilson elected English Prime Minister. And now we are known as the Commonwealth of England. We have this new flag. And we unlock a new focus tree, and we're going to do The People Have Spoken. And hey, Churchill's back. And also we have reformation of the SLP here, and we have to do these decisions to complete the reformation of the party and increase the reformist influence. The people's flag is deepest red. Comrades and countrymen, I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for entrusting the future of our great England to us. And once we finish our work, England will be free and prosperous once again. The SLP truly is too grand of a coalition, and I believe it's only a matter of time before Birch makes his move. I know, Bill, I'm not exactly new to this. And now here we've got 4 basic paths we can go down. Here is don't split the party, and I think this is the tree, which is basically forming our party, I guess. This is the path that talks about the Commonwealth, it's about our economy. This path is about the OFN, and finally we have this social policy tree, I guess. And I'm going to go don't split the party first. You know, Harold, the best opportunity for a finishing blow would come at the yearly SLP meeting. The entire party will be there, all of them who matter anyway. And you could easily knock Birch out of his position with a snap vote. I'd say it won't be very hard to denounce a Bolshevik and a Democratic Socialist Party. The final preparations. Right. Here's hoping for the best. And finally, down with the traitors. Thank you for the speech, Comrade Birch. Now for Comrade Wilson's speech. Comrades, I call for a vote for the removal of him and his clique from the party. The speech caused an uproar among Birch's supporters, yet they were quickly subdued by the other delegates. The vote proceeded, and it did not favor the old guard. Right, and now we're done with this focus tree, and I'm going to proceed into the true England. We hereby announce to all 3 nations of the world that England now truly exists. The old dominions. That went quite well, all in all. The free world. After establishing ties with our former subjects, the only logical course of action will be to go further. The first and most important was the USA. Other missions to Sweden and South America were sent. Aid and cooperation with them is predicted to be minimal. Could have gone better, could have gone worse. Right, now that we're done with that, we can start our economic tree. A nation without wealth, and we're going to focus on our natural wealth, and we're going to go down this path of the focus tree. Right, and we're done with the economic tree, and we can do let's change things around here. Oh hey, and we can decriminalize same-sex relationships. Nice. A barbaric secret. Brighton was a riot that day. The streets were covered in confetti and its sun-bleached sands were trodden by the many free that last from fair. Light and colour ruled Brighton, and the smiles of men and women who could at last live in public without fear of isolation and hatred. There's always hope, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. And next up we're going to do the Equality Act. Oh, and wholesome Chunga Slablins wrote to us. What a nice group of fellows, these Russians. And we get opiate of the masses. Religious freedom must be preserved. Oh, and the Equality Act passes as well. English history is written. And I've been playing for a while now, and it seems like the Welsh Invasion and Scottish Invasion events aren't firing, as well as us joining the OFN. So I think it's because of the recent patch that completely just broke this game. So that means I have to restart. Alright, I'm back, and as you can see, I am now in the OFN, and now we get Red Dragon, Red Star. Welsh independence is a venerable cause, but anyone can see that their experiments has largely failed. We aim to build a plurinational union, where the traditions of Britain's various groups are respected, and now we can do the capitalists to the west. The drums of war, and they actually refused Unification Talks. Well, that's a shame. And finally, war is declared. Death to the FWA. And we've just defeated Wales. They're stuck with us now. A last act. Comrades, as I end this chapter of my long career, I only want to say one thing to you all. Long live the struggle of the proletariat. And there goes the man who made it all possible. And now we also get the Equal Vote Act, which is basically an act that allows all Englishmen to vote regardless of gender and race. And the act passes. And the West Russian Revolutionary Front offers so in turn associate status. We would gladly accept. And finally we can do a last speech. Good morning, Harold. Please, come in. Good morning, Bill. Quite a lovely house you've got there. I'm pleased to know you like it. I was hoping that would be my retirement home. Retirement home? Does that mean you're leaving? Well, yes, I'm getting old. Yes, I know, you're only 6 years younger than me. But the things I've done, it can age a man, make his hair go white in a year. Shouldn't the rest know as well? I thought you'd announce this publicly. Oh, I will, but not right now. Right now, we should get some breakfast. And the elections are back. Vote SLP and win the peace. And now we have to start campaigning for the Labour Party again. Oh, and we get the spirit of Gerald. Scotland has always been the home of ardent revolutionaries, willing to throw their lives down if it meant getting just one step closer to liberation. The fails of Gerald shall not be in vain. And here we can do the light in the north. The talks begin. Let's do this. Our opening offer. You have to start with something. We'll keep our own parliament and our own elections. English law will stop at the borders as well. We'll take care of our own business. Taxation will be left up to us, and massive protections for our language must be left in as well. You want a union? Then it's going to have to be a union of equals. How about a Scottish council instead? Oh, and we'll win the election. Wilson's triumph. Cool. The red flag still flies here. Equal exchange. Two things are happening today, both in Edinburgh and both at the same time. At the Redford Cavalry and Infantry Barracks, a group of 51st Highlanders stand outside looking at a flagpole. A group of press and onlookers are standing outside the Scottish Government building. One army band plays the Scottish national anthem. The Scottish flag at Redford is taken down, and the same flag is being hoisted. The emotions are a lot less subdued here. Some cry, while others cheer. The flag is one of a united isle, and at the end of the song, the flag is flying all the way up. England has gained control over the Scottish military, and Scotland has its own council. Jolly good. The reformation of the Commonwealth of Britain. Pragmatism once again.
The scarlet standard high, beneath its shade we live and die. Cowards flinch, traitors sneer, we keep the red flag flying here.
Cable Streets avenged. And here we have a second focus tree, which is managing Britain after unification. A plan for England. After our re-election, we shall implement the following: female emancipation and increased societal participation, the continuation and strengthening of our newly regained democracy, welfare programs, education and socialized, free at the point of use health care, secularism and religious freedom, bringing the collaborators and traitors to justice, military, economic and political cooperation with the Organization of Three Nations. Long live England. So I'm going to go to the middle. And now we have to pass the Land Redistribution Act. And we also have the Universal Healthcare Act here, and the National Wage Act. Extra dough. A little extra dough never hurt anyone. And now we're done with that, we're going to do the one who got away. We're gonna attempt to isolate him. We're going to start doing this side of the focus tree. And now that we're done with that, we can finally do a new Britain. England arise. We have done it. We have brought peace, justice and prosperity to the whole people of England. The worker is entitled to the fruits of his labor. The woman is equal to the man in all aspects of life. The Bolshevik and the reactionary have no sway over the people. Freedom reigns supreme over the land once enslaved by fascism. Force of arms won us the war. Strength of mind gave us our new democratic system. The power of spirit gave us the incentive to push onward to where we are now. This great victory belongs to us all, even to those who do not agree with our ideals. We gallantly stride into a new age of plenty, utterly confident in our ability to protect and improve England even more. The sun rises in the east, and the long, long night is over. And that is our Commonwealth of Britain playthrough. It's kind of refreshing to play something not cursed for once, and yeah, under Harold Wilson, we unified the Commonwealth of Britain and brought democracy back to Britain. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, be sure to subscribe to this channel and like this video. And until next time, Merry Christmas and goodbye.